Hello, this is Brandon McCauley's game prototype, Dowry Knight, Noble Escape, a stealth platformer um with some adventure elements thrown in there, where you play as this character, Noble, who can move around as a typical third-person movement set, but also has special interactable ability with any of these areas indicated with the purple mist that lets them jump, hop, move around, sidle, or even just open doors. As well as this item called the Dragon's Claw, which is effectively a grappling hook that will let them attach to green-coated objects and fling themselves about. And this room here is their room, also meant to help introduce the ideas to the player, show the different types of loot, introduce the idea of, you know, like, oh look, you can shoot at and grab the treasures as well. There we go. And using that bit of level design to lead the player, where they could go down here, but they can see that there's a better reward following this path. And we will go out through the rest of this fortress, but first we're going to go on a little key run and get the three keys you can see kind of grayed out in the upper left UI corner right now. That are primarily there to, two of them will unlock different areas inside the main fortress, and one of them is actually how we escape. So first you can see some guards up here patrolling, looking around. I'll show off their behaviors in a second. There's also hidden notes scattered throughout, where if you collect all four, you unlock a secret message. Yep, so there's the guard looking about. And if you move slow enough, they won't notice you. But then if you're too close and moving at a high speed, they will rapidly turn around. Yep, I got caught. Now I can either do a diplomacy minigame or bribe. I'm going to bribe, so he is paid off and he'll no longer follow me. And I'll also show what diplomacy is. Right now it's a minigame set. I'll just go ahead and trigger this guy, choose diplomacy. And so now I have to talk my way out, and this is the game mode I called find the hole in the argument, as the pun of your, finding the place to slide along. And it's going to ramp up a bit here, and I just have to not get hit for once these waves end, and I'll have won him over to my side. So you can either just pay out hard cash, or you can do a skill challenge and keep the score and also buy him off. There we are. And of course, you could also have done all the platforming here you're really meant to do, but I wanted to show off those features. And there'll be plenty of other jumps and hurdles to do. So here's this little end of this segment, 2 more treasures. And if I didn't mention it, you also have a special treasure counter in addition to the loot. There we go. Let's go ahead and head to this one. This was certainly inspired by, well, at least in some part, the Sly Cooper series, but also I wanted to give it my own twist with things like the diplomacy minigame, the grappling hook feature, to really expand on those ideas and make it its own thing. And I am rather happy with it, though, of course. I wish I could have done some better models and animations. Oh yes, for this one, also not much in the way of platforming, but there's this, you have to see the little green backs on these guys. If you shoot at it, you pickpocket them, and one of them had a key. So, there we go. I will actually go ahead and grab the note that's up here. Oh yeah, and this is a ladder object that can be used for a bit of easy vertical movement. There we go. And every single script, I should mention, was made by me. I did not use any pre-made assets other than the basic pictures that you see me using here for some of the placeholder items. So then, last one here is a cog room. This is actually the only room where you can get actually hurt. if I had been caught by any of those guards, or like I hadn't had the money for the bribe, all that would have happened is you go back to your you get sent back to your room. And so for this one, we're going to do a little bit of vertical climbing on the cogs now. And the third-person camera model was also coded entirely by me. There we go. And these swing points are interesting because you can both interact them with the purple mist or just directly shoot at them. But obviously in cases like this, shooting at them isn't going to work. Oh, and there we go. Whew, close. Alright, that's all 3 keys. So now we can turn around, hop back, and check out the rest of the real star of the show, which is inside the fortress. It's the most, well, all of these have different main mechanics they're trying to show and engage the player with. This one's got the most just stuff per square mile, more or less. So, as we can see, there's a, and I won't go through every single nook and cranny. I'm doing my best to just show the highlights, and that I feel are the most interesting. But as we can see, a bit of platforming there, allowing the person to get the treasure, and then swing. You can swing here and just completely sneak around. And should also worth noting that there was very much intent into how the coins were distributed and what kind to try and lead the player. And in another area, you'll see that done more. Here's the blue door, which is the special study, which has just a special gold treasure in it and some other coins. For example, that gold coin right there is specifically placed to make players go, oh, I can, there must be something out there by that window. You know, pretty basic game design philosophy, but I would like to indicate that I was carefully planning it out nonetheless. Okay, so next I'll just hop down to this segment, where this is both a way to get up to that upper level, or if you had come down from the other side, this is a way to get back around. But I'm going this way because it leads to another spot with a door. There we go. This is the vault that the yellow key gives us access to, and this is how you would get up there to that beam. But we'll drop down, and yep, full of treasures, and the last of the notes for the secret message. Okay, and so with all that, the only last thing to do is just show you the main room exit, and we will clear the area. There we go. Wasn't close enough to actually properly use it. And also, as you can see, there's a silver coin or a copper coin, because over here there's more interactables, so I wanted to naturally draw the player. And then we can grapple shoot over to there. Oh yeah, that's a fun little statue to climb up and get some extra items. It's supposed to be the Duke that owns this place, and you can just pluck the treasure right out of the statue's hand. And it's supposed to be a little meta comment on the thieving nature of this story. Here's the foyer, 2 more enemies to avoid. Well, guards, they're not really enemies. One other section that had that does have a little secret treasure to reward players who experiment. Another bit of secret access and level design at work here. Oh, and for, white doors can just be opened without a key. Oh, didn't quite make it. Here, I just want to show that this one has this little section has a secret for someone who notices of it and uses the swing to get at it. Okay, so then last thing to do is just open the front door and mosey our way over to victory. And so you open it up to the lovely skybox beyond. Game's over. Shows your total score. I left the copper treasure. Almost had a perfect run. Got all 4 notes, so the secret message was unlocked. Thank you very much for your time and your consideration. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon. Goodbye.